Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi. We're waiting for others to join.
Hello.
Hello, Mary. Unanisikia?
Nakusikia.
Yeah, nimesema we're waiting for others to join.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi, Dan.
Yes, let's give the people who haven't joined some few minutes to join. I think by 10:05 we can start. The rest will get us as we go on. Hello. Once again, karibuni sana to the webinar, and I'm so happy to see you guys joining in. As we wait for more people to join in, we can start by introducing ourselves. So you guys are very important to us, and this is why we always hold these webinars to upskill and to connect with each other. So first, as we are waiting for the rest to join, we can start by introducing ourselves. You unmute your mic and then tell us your name, what you do, where you're joining from, and something you're proud of achieving this year. And I will go first. I don't know kama mnanisikia vizuri, not unless if I'm not audible enough, you can just tell me and then we see. Are you audible enough? Kila mtu ananisikia vizuri? Okay, nice. Let me go first. My name is Dana Mukulu. What I do, I am an alumni engagement and officer at Achwa Network. I'm joining from Mombasa, and I'm proud of this year is having new guys on this call and planning this and seeing it come to pass. So anyone can unmute their mic and then just introduce themselves. Tobias, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Tobias Saraba, and I'm also an alumni. From 2023, I graduated in the year 2023. Right now, I'm a school lead educator at TechLead Africa organization. We empower kids through digital learning in rural areas. Apart from that, I'm also a software engineer profession, and I'm also a part of an initiative that I formed last year. It's called Take It Easy, whereby we empower grassroots organizations to thrive online by providing scalable websites and digital solutions. Thank you.
Okay. Nice, Tobias. Next person.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Mary.
My name is Mary Abdallah. I'm joining this meeting from Mombasa. I'm also an alumni. I've done a finance course at diploma level. I'm still pursuing my CPA. What I'm really proud of achieving this year is improving my time management skills. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
This is Sarah. Sarah Vienda. I'm a building and civil engineer by profession, but now I'm doing logistics, general logistics at MSF. I'm alumni, yeah. Something you're proud of achieving this year? Yeah, I've achieved so many things, and I am very proud of. Yeah, thank you.
Karibu sana, Sarah, and welcome. Next person. The ones wenye wako at places that they can't speak, they can introduce themselves kwa chat, and I'll get to read the introductions. Meanwhile, wenye tunaweza ongea, tujiintroduce.
Hi everyone.
Hi Peter.
Yeah, this is Peter Otiko. I'm joining the call from Mombasa. Proud Hatro alumni here. Graduated in 2021 from JKUAT with a degree in mathematics and computer science. Currently, I'm working for Watu Credits, also known as that, where I work as the commercial and portfolio performance specialist for the group. And something which I am proud this year is I began this new role this year, so it's an achievement for me. And thank you, everyone.
Okay, karibu sana Peter. Let's introduce ourselves. When they can't unmute, they can do it at the chat, on the chat. Yes, and as we continue to introduce ourselves in the chat, we'll take it as the last thing then. Let us introduce our guest speaker, the guy of the day. And we are honored to have him share his journey, lessons and insights. And basically whatever he's going to teach us is going to be very practical, and you can implement it and you're going to live here with insights. Let's meet Salim Mohammed Kiam. Salim is Programs and Entrepreneurship Development Professional at SOMO Africa. He has worked with Educate Kenya, I Choose Live Africa, as a training and coaching and mentoring young entrepreneurs across East Africa. Beyond the title of a coach and a trainer, he's a storyteller at heart who believes the right narrative can shift an entire community. And that is what he's going to be talking about today, changing the narrative. He's patient, intentional, and invested in seeing people turn their ideas into something real. So let's all welcome Salim for today's session. Karibu sana Salim.
Thanks, Dana, and to all my fellow alumni. So, as it has been shared, that's me. And maybe for those who wanakumbuka jina na sauti, but the face nimesahau, haven't changed the face that is on the photo. And the current face, you can just confirm, is still one and the same person. So, sija change sana. Nikiomoka maybe sura pia itabadilika.
Okay. So yeah, Salim, you can just go on. Let me just stop presenting and then you can share your slides.
Right, well noted. So you'll confirm once you see my screen. Hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can.
Right, based on the theme of crafting your brand, mastering your network, I will be the facilitator today. And in this case, just to bond and also share my journey as an alumni of Atua Network in this specific topic. And hopefully, at the end of the session, we'll have gotten new insights. I would also have learned to get new things of doing things because most cases I normally say there isn't one way of doing things. There are a number of ways. So it depends with the formula, it depends with the steps or the procedure that you get from others. You can also use to improve or grow your own areas. So just to proceed, the next can you see the next slide?
No, Salim, we can't.
Yes, stop sharing the screen. All right. So basically, the whole content I've divided into this particular areas. So this is more like the table of content, what we're going to discuss in this session. That's for those who are coming out from campus and they're about to join their career, what are some of the things that we can try to work around in terms of building our brands and also increasing or building or growing our network, so networking to our network, and also checking into details in terms of the personal branding, networking, and then giving my own personal story around my journey towards personal branding and networking. Then now we can go live into the real workshop. That's where we can practice some of these tips in real time and share challenges that we experience within this session. And thereafter, we can now agree on future action plans based on the same topic for growth, and we close it at that point with any questions that might rise. And feel free, in case there is a question that you need to get it responded swiftly, it's always good just place it on the chat, and if something that you can sort it before the end of the session, then will notify me and we'll have it handled as we move on. So checking around from campus to career, maybe even before coming to this point, there is a lot that is happening while still at the campus level, and another bunch of lot of activities that also take place immediately after you have graduated. And I remember there's this just a meme that has been going around sometimes back that ukitaka kujua like ukigraduate ndio unakuwa officially jobless, nile time hauna hata story tena kuambia mzae ama someone like najua tumeambiwa tunaenda kuingia kwa hii semester tunahitaji, unataja things that are funny that you know your parents or your guardians may not understand, so as you can get that money for you to survive. So na so no umegraduate, those stories zimeenda hapo, so they actually now start believing that wewe ndio utaanza kusaidia the juniors because they expect ukishatoka campus or university utapata job and things will change. Well, sasa umekuwa sasa umejoin the other job group, which is the job seekers, because that's a job of its own again. So there are a lot of things that happen, and on this point, that's where we feel there is need as human beings or as career-oriented people that we need to understand what can set us apart, because the competition is that everyone gets out there with their qualifications, with the degree, diploma, certificate, masters, PhD. So that tumetoka hapo, tuko na hiyo. So we are all competing for this one job that everyone is envisioning to work in that organization. So 3 things that when we take into consideration, I feel we can change that narrative and we can stand out Well, that's first is visibility. Second is that you're ready to understand there is competition. And third, there is expectations. And these expectations are in two ways. You have your own expectations as a human being that I expect that I'm a qualified scientist, maybe data scientist. I need to get this type of job, this type of pay, and number of other conditions that you have. While also the employer, having known that this is the problem in my company or in my business, I need this type of an employee coming back to support in handling these particular problems. So there are also the employer's expectation. So we'd like first to check around this. So first on the visibility, you must be able to, you must be seen to be considered. So in this case comes to the point of, is your brand visible? Yes, you are an electrical engineer. Can someone see you as an electrical engineer for them to consider you? And if yes, you are visible, there are a number of things that you need to know. What are these things that you have other electrical engineers out there also looking for this job opportunity? So the competition is real. Everyone has that qualification. How do you stand out? That's the next thing that you need now to check. Yes, I'm an electrical engineer. Some people know me, so I'm a bit visible, but everyone is also in the same space competing for the same opportunity. How can I stand out? As much as I'm an electrical engineer with a degree, with first-class honors and all those kind of things, how can I stand out? So here comes to the point of now your network, your skills, how the brand that you have created for yourself looks like, and then the expectations. Employers want initiative, not just the credentials. So here it comes again that something that you need to focus more. Yes, I have the first class honors in particular field, but the employer doesn't want that paper. Wants someone to come and solve a particular problem. So that means there are things that you need to do extra apart from just having the credential, and these things that you do extra as initiatives, that is what will lead you to stand out. So in this transition is where your brand, the network become your unfair advantage, because it's what gives you the room to compete favorably within the market. And in a nutshell, maybe just to define personal branding, this is your personal, right, just a minute. Sorry, someone was calling. So personal branding, basically the story that people tell about you when you are not in the room. And this is, in most cases, it works well if, in terms of the referrals. Someone can pitch that I know Peter. Peter is good at 1, 2, 3. Have ever worked with Peter, and if you have Peter in your organization, trust me, you won't regret. So that's already a particular brand that has come out that people can tell about you while you are not there. So that means your brand is growing. So if you feel at the moment no one can speak about you while you are not there, that means your brand is yet to be there. So you need to work around that, and this cuts across even those that they are now in the job industry. For you to shift from that job that you are in currently to the next job opportunity, you need to have an outstanding brand. And this, for those, for instance, for those that are from graduates, it's not about the experience. It's all about clarity, curiosity, and character. Similarly, for those that are already employed, that are looking for better opportunities out here, it's not always about the experience or the roles that you have held in a particular organization, but still it's about the clarity, curiosity, and the character. Is your character good enough that wherever someone sees or hears about your name, and they have ever seen or they have done their research before and found more about you, they are curious, even on the other end, to work with you and to learn more from you. So you need to have that clarity in your mind that what do you want, and the curiosity aspect is, are you that person that you really want to be in the next level? And if yes, how should you be like? And then the characters, now this is more of like the behavioral approaches that someone would learn to be associated with you, or the values that they can get actually out of it. So there is also need under personal branding, more of like to reframe your old story, because as we said, this is the story that someone can talk in a room about you without you being there. So checking around how most of the professions, and this can start, or we can relate it well from the time when we graduated, for those who maybe are recently graduates, and even those who are already at the job. The time when we are transitioning, there was this point where you feel you have no experience. The only things that you have done is the group projects at school, the Hatua projects that you did in the different chapters. And then at that particular point, since now parents and the community expects you to support and even to contribute, you are only looking for any job. Bora tu upate yenye pesa inaingia, survive, because sasa hakuna any other survival technique, ni ile use your small skills hapa na pale, so long as the end meets the needs. But if you shift from that statement of telling yourself, I have no experience, I did only group projects, I'm looking for any job, and focus on, for instance, I have no experience to be, I bring fresh knowledge and a high energy. Someone will want to write, this is fresh knowledge from, let's say, university or from campus. So you have the new trends in you that the millennials or wale wazee wako kwa hiyo industry, they are really struggling into emulating that. And here you come to the same team with the new fresh knowledge and high energy, because kama ni kitu yenye inahitaji ifanywe haraka, you have that energy to do it within a short span, because you know the trends, you know the shortcuts around that industry based on your new research that you have done, compared to this old person who has the knowledge experience, yes, but this new fresh knowledge ndio hana, the new trends hana. Kama ni AI incorporation ni haya hana, the energy ukumbuke amezoea tu doing things the old way, but here you come with new and also fresh energy of doing things in a simpler and efficient way within the team. Then if you focus on by sharing that, everyone will want to be associated with it. But if you say I have no experience, who wants someone who has zero experience? That means this person also has fixed mind that he doesn't want even to learn, and he doesn't believe in the skills that they have at that particular point. As much as I've graduated, they feel alipoenda attachment hakugain kitu, alipokuwa class or the networking campus hakugain kitu, so zero experience, no experience. So if we change that into having a better way of communicating it, you can stand out. Then I did group projects, refining this into I led and delivered through collaboration. So that means you didn't only do the group projects at campus or university, but you rather led the groups, or you delivered projects through collaboration. Brings out that you are a team player, you actually have collaboration skills, and in this way also demonstrates that you have leadership skills. So it is always about the language and not about the things that we feel we have. Then I'm looking for any job, reframing it into like I'm building skills in a specific field. This shows that you are clear enough on what you want to do, as well as there is more of curiosity. You are building skills in the same field, so it's more of like shows bit of consistency as well, because you keep on building onto it, and then there is character that you are like assertive, or you are a focused personnel, because you are building on that field. It's not that today you have started cutting this tree, tomorrow you wake up starting cutting a new tree and expecting at the end of the week these trees will fall. Not really. You need to focus on one or on a specific field, ensure that you are a master in it, or you have mastered much out of it. Then now you can diversify in the other industries. So the 3 C's of graduate brand, and this not only for graduate brand, but across all the other professions. You can agree with me at the end of it all. If you are already in a certain industry, there are things that most people look for. If you have gone to a number of interviews, a number of setups, meetings, you see there are things that in that meeting people check. For instance, clarity. Do you know your core strengths, at least 2 or 3, and you can own them? That someone can tell if you're saying that you are a team player, or you are a problem solver, or you are a flexible person. Can they tell that truly you own those strengths without you telling them? So this is something that you need to build within your brand, that well, with a few interactions already someone knows this is a leader, this is a team player, this is flexible person, this is a person with a lot of accountability, and all those kind of things. It can start from your talk, it can be based on your appearance and all that, and that's why there's this common phrase that tell me without telling me. Like you show, you don't tell. Someone can just see without you telling them that actually this is what I meant. So the clarity is needed at any level of a professional journey. Then the consistency. We find at this level, we tend to balance a lot of things between our social life, career life, and for those who maybe started families, also balancing around the family aspect. So still in your professional journey, there is need to have that consistency. Consistency in terms of your documentations, your professional platforms, be it the LinkedIn, Behance, Fuzu, and a number of those sites where you create your own professional brand. So if you have your profile photo on LinkedIn, it needs at least to also be the same with the one that is on your Fuzu, your Behance account, your Brighter Monday, those different platforms, to ensure that when recruiters or your network who finds you on this particular end, they easily can relate that this is not a counterfeit account, but huyu kweli ni Diana, huyu kweli ni Peter, huyu kweli ni Sally, because they can see the photo and they can easily relate. And you find Meta have tried to work around that through the creation of the feature that someone, when you join Facebook, they can actually tell you that one of your contacts is also in Facebook. One of your, maybe this connection is also in this. So it tries to give you that reason, because maybe you open those accounts using the same phone number, or you open the same accounts using the same email. So it is easier to be notified. So you as a person, do you have that consistency? Be it the headlines on your CVs, your cover letters, in your LinkedIn, do they sync? That is one and the same. Then the credibility approach is a proof of your skills or your value that you bring through these new roles based on out of the projects you did, the achievements. So here you need to have, and it's always good to post the things that you did on your LinkedIn or in different platforms, and the lessons that you learned out of the activities that you did. So those are the 3 C's. And now coming to check around LinkedIn as the main focus as well in this as your brand headquarters, because as a professional, LinkedIn is where you find other professions to network with, future employers, and many other potential investors in your project that you are up to. So there are things that you need to have them right to ensure that the brand is well. Yes, Bakari? All right. So the first thing is profile photo. There are features that people check on the profile photo to see if you are serious or not. So one, use a plain background which is a bit clear, as well as visible face. Let people see your face clearly. It's where the face is blurred. Someone cannot actually distinguish. And in this case, avoid using AI generated photos. Umeona umechukua na simu, you want it to be better or clear, unasema acha nipitishe kwa AI without checking around it, unaenda unaweka kama profile pic yako. So maybe working around that as well, it can be a plus in ensuring that your brand is that consistency of picha umeweka huku. Just invest, get studio shot safi, weka in your different profiles. The next part is the headlines, and this headlines is in terms of the skills, the titles, or the professional career aspirations that you have. For instance, maybe finance graduate, data enthusiast at 12 minutes. Those kind of things that someone can easily pick that these are your core skills, or this is something that someone can pay or can hire you for to get a pay. And then the about section on your LinkedIn, you need to write a short story about your passion and the value you bring or you contribute to the field that you are in. And this can be tailored depending on the different career levels. So if you are actually a fresh graduate, then you need to work maybe introducing that a graduate of this particular field, passionate about 1 to 3 things. And if you are a person in the industry, you have stayed there for a while, also that about section needs to change to reflect your experience, maybe with 5 years of experience, 6 years of experience, 3 years of experience, like even including the duration in it. And then the featured section, this is now where you can upload some of the projects or the volunteer work as a proof of your skills. Remember we had talked about credibility, where you need to show or prove that. So the same under the features section, it's where you can outline your skills. People can see some of the things you have been doing so as they can actually relate and know, yes, this is the person we need. Si mtu mwenye amerust, like umetoka campus, umekuja, nothing you have done, no projects, people can see, even if it's the volunteering opportunities, small initiatives you've done in your community, the same field, there are some skills that you gain. Post that and share what you learned out of it. Someone can actually see the skills out of the initiatives you do. Then activities, some of the things that people might ignore, thinking that they don't go a long way, is you liking a post in your industry that has been posted by someone else, or the different industries that have LinkedIn pages. You're going to like, comment, and even sometimes reposting, they go a long way. So it's a good practice when you want to build your brand to create that visibility. Checking around, do you engage regularly with the content in your industry? And in a summary to this is that sometimes you might not have much connections on LinkedIn and you get heartbroken. You need to understand that you don't need those 500 plus connections. You just need 5 relevant connections that you know, and they also know about what you stand for. So in this case, you need to connect to the right people that you share the same values, you are in the same industry. So whatever they post can inspire you, whatever you post can also inspire them, and you can tap or you can leverage in that as your connections to land into the next opportunities. So from this, maybe to pause before we start on the networking, if there is any questions, tusonge mbele to the networking part. Dan, are there any questions maybe in the chat?
Hello, Salim. Just a comment from Bakari. He says he maybe wants to give a take on his what he has to say about LinkedIn bio. Maybe when he is out of the event, he can do that.
All right. So.
Yes. And Esther Nyanchama, what do you mean by real connections? Was that a question or was that just a statement? Esther Nyanchama.
Okay, I may respond just a statement. However, it's good to also emphasize on that you need to ensure that it's real connections, because understand also LinkedIn kuna fraud inaendelea, so you need to verify that yes, tumeona this is a program manager, this company you wanted to connect because that's the company you are aiming at transitioning to. Have you gone to check on their website and see kama kweli pia any part of the team and all that to verify, so as you just have real connections as well. Yeah. It's good to verify because unaweza land into scammers DMs or connections.
Okay, I think in the chat that was all. All
right. And also, at least LinkedIn is the point where you can have confidence. The scammers are not much as compared to other social media handles. So now on network. Yes, go ahead.
We have a question from Esther. She's asking on connections and accepting requests. Should I accept the ones related to my field or hata zingine?
Okay, you can request hata zingine, but you as an individual, when you request connections, at least you need to know what you look for in that connection that you are requesting. Like the win-win situation. What's your aim? Ukijua connect na huyu, there's some skills I want to learn. You need to be goal-oriented as you grow your connections. So when someone requests you, accept, because so long as you are verified that our wale scammers wataka kuingia wanyoshe, you can accept and you build your way out. Okay.
We also have another question
yes.
from Said. How will I know whether Miss Kama or not?
Okay. Personally, I don't accept connections from mtu mwenye amenitumia hata ana profile pic, ni jina tu. Because I want to know who am I connecting with and everything. So it's good just to do research. And mtu akiconnect na yeye, then unaona like the first conversations zenye ameanza kutumia, unaona hizi zinaenda tu kwa wale conmen, so unaweza end your connection na unfriend or unconnect and you're good to go. So there are a number of ways you can verify. Just use your instincts, right? So you need to be selective, and you need to have a specific goal as you build your connection. Right, we can proceed to networking. So Also, he wanted to just understand what networking really is in terms of this journey of building your personal brand and growing your connections. So networking is not begging for jobs. It's building bridges where you need to cross them. So it's more of, as I had shared before, that you connect with the people in the same industry, knowing that utalan kutoka kwao, and at the end of the day, you can get opportunities from them, or they can also get opportunities from you. So there's that mutual benefit. Then under networking, there are a few fears that people have and can cut across from both the graduates and when they want to grow their career level. So the fear number one is I have nothing to offer. So you fear when you network with someone, since you are freshly from graduating and umetoka ndo umeingia the industry, unaona you have nothing to offer. Similar case to the point where you feel you have no experience. So you need to tell yourself that you as a person, you have the perspective of this industry, you have the energy and the willingness to learn. So when you connect, it's not that you need to offer, but you offering your time to learn from this person, your time to connect, comment into their post, maybe like and even reposting them, already shows that you are a person worth to be in that network. The fear number two, I don't know important people. Like tunasemanga huku nje ni kujuana, lazima uko na connection strong. So remember, every strong network started with that one conversation. Yenye leo umemtext hi, congratulations on your promotion, because ni network yako umepata the notification that maybe Kando has started a new position at Hatua. You just texting in that way, congratulating them, already that conversation inaanzia hapo. And in future, the two of you will be that strong network that hata akisikia jina yako anasema he's one of my connections on LinkedIn, najuana, he works in this place. So because dig deeper into starting with the small talk, na yeye pia amekuwa akirespond and all that. However, fear number three that comes from fear number two is, what if I'm ignored? Yes, nimeconnect na yeye alafu asi accept connection yangu, I reject, ama nimemtext then this person haja respond. So always understand that one reply can change the whole story or the trajectory of the whole picture that was created. So don't always expect a reply, but once you get the reply, it will change that fear that you have. And if I may ask practically, Safaricom or any other service providers that we have connected with, they keep on texting you. And in that case, hakuna siku umeshaisema acha ni respond kwa Safaricom, because maybe it's a no reply option. But you go extra when you are in need of that offer and you sometimes back, you go ahead and utilize it. So similarly, you might text a connection on LinkedIn. They might not reply at that particular point, but later on, they can come to their senses knowing that I was looking, as we look for this particular expert in this field. There's one person who ever texted me sharing that he's actually a graduate of this university and is looking for an opportunity to volunteer in my industry. Can I reach out to them? They come and start with that volunteering part. Right, I see Bakari has also leave a text. You can have a look at it later, Diana. So in this case, you need to curb your fear of getting the replies or the responses by giving yourself confidence that as much as I'm texting, I'm not expecting an immediate return. I'm building this network. And 3 networking rules: give first. The second one is be specific and follow up with value. For For instance, congratulating someone, as they had given the example, or share some of their posts, you reshare, or that's the reposting option and all that, or appreciate someone's work before asking for anything is the best way to give back or giving first to them before start receiving. And most of the network opportunities fail because leo exchange business card, kesho namwambia by the way, can I come and volunteer in your place? So it means your networking approach you wanted to gain from them, but you building that rapport, leo mesalimiana na yeye, mejuliana hali, and with the time you see them posting an opportunity, you can respond to that opportunity. I have seen this, maybe it aligns with my values and my professional background. Is it an opportunity that I can come or I can give it a try to apply, or can I send you my CV? You have a look at it. I want to apply in this opportunity in your organization. Unajua, this is this person mmekuwa na yeye for some time, and they're in a position to prove that yes, this is the person that we can work with, because how could skip the ladder from step 1 to step 10 kusema I want to go to the top. You gave first the steps to build that rapport, and then now be specific. Ask focused and thoughtful questions that show you have done your research. Don't go to this person just asking random things that you could have maybe learned from their website or from their number of things based on their posts. So ask thoughtful questions that show interest to learn more from them. And you are thoughtful that you have done research and you have seen some of the gaps that you need them clarified. So be specific, not just going to be random. Follow up with value. If you got an advice from them and you applied it, it's always good to go and give feedback or updating them that that particular advice, how has impacted your life, how your progress, in short, unaendelea aje from that. Then linking the networking in action. So connecting, it's always good not just to click the connect, iende hivyo. It's good to custom make a certain message or tell a message. For instance, hi, my name is Diana. I'm a Hatua alumnus and interested in marketing. Would love to follow your journey. Like that shows as you connect, building this connection, you want to learn more from them, because you'll be now getting notification of their posts, of their posts that they have commented on. You get to know that Peter has commented on this post, so it's easier for you to be notified and check. So you will be learning that way. So that in that way, it's more of a way also building trust that this is not a scam or not, because at least I may tailor-make the message that you can read through. Ask for advice. Always the connections that you have, and if you feel you want to go to their organizations and you have created that good rapport with them, ask for advice and not just ask for opportunities. For instance, could we have a 10-minute chat? I admire your career path and I would like to learn 1, 2, 3 things in the same industry based on I'm working on this particular project. But you say me like hello, I'm done with my project. I would like to come and work in your company. Now, yeah, those are 2 different things. This one, you are asking for advice. You are asking for their consent of time. And when you discuss with them, they can even tell you that, by the way, I can pair you with one maybe departmental lead in this particular industry that I'm focusing on in my company, who can mentor you, who can work with you. And thereafter, the same person at kuna need, they look for expertise, they can ask that person, kuna ule kijana nilikwambia ukuje, how do you see that person? He's a good person, amekuwa kufanya project zake in good time. You end up getting that opportunity without you having asked for the opportunity directly.
you just asked for advice. Staying in touch. This is one way where if you know your connections, they are more inclined or aligned into a particular area that you're focusing on, and they keep on asking a number of things based on the same line. You can give a statement or a message to them. You mentioned renewable energy, and here is a new report you may like to read, or you may have a chance to have a look at it for my project and give me feedback. So you're keeping in touch with them. You knew they commented in your previous post that wow, I'm interested to learn more about this topic and all. What have you, or I want to see the end results of your project. So if you are done, it's good to go back to them and keep in touch. Say something that it will connect you back to the previous interactions. So maybe before going to my case study, Daniel can go through whatever Bakari had posted, as well as checking if there is any questions around networking.
Okay. Before we go to the insights Bakari had shared, we have a question from Esther. She was asking on matters being ignored, can we say we build like a tough skin and keep pushing no matter what?
Yes, lazima ukuwe na tough skin. Kama tu venye Safaricom banks na wako na those tough skins. They text you every now and then, every day, dear customer and all that. You might end up not even starting to tap on those opportunities that they sent you, like dial this to get this data bundles, ukaziignore because you have Wi-Fi. But utafika point yenye uko place yenye sasa hakuna hiyo Wi-Fi and you need ndio unaenda kwa zile opportunities. To them it's a benefit because they created the awareness. So you might be ignored, but you have created awareness that oh, in my connection I have so and so who does this. And I can give a practical example. I run a Conprotech. We offer some photography and other graphic design services. At some point, I've been posting some of these things in my broadcasts, in the social media handles. No one responds, but it reaches to a point where someone calls you way later and they ask, bado nafanyanga photography? That means they saw your post on photography and now they are interested because they need photography services and they are asking you. So that's the point, you are sealing the deal. So just have thick skin, congratulate them. Connect with them where you appreciate, congratulate that happy birthday, you wish them all that. Let them not respond, but reach to a point where they know there is one of my connection, I'm very active, very engaging in my post and all that. They will try to dig deeper in you. And that's when you get the fruits out of it. Yeah. How about you, Dan?
Said says he has a case on LinkedIn. Until now, he doesn't know if to treat it as a scammer or to give it a shot. Maybe Said, you can tell us more about your story. Is it an opportunity? Is it someone like reach out for an opportunity? Maybe as Said takes to clarify on that. We can go through what Bakari said. Thanks, Bakari, for this. So Bakari says you have to write a headline that rocks, that's on LinkedIn, and your headline doesn't have to be your job title and company. In fact, especially if you're looking for an opportunity, it shouldn't be. Instead, you should use that space to showcase your specialty, value proposition, or your so what. Don't waste the summary space. So ideally, your summary should be around 3 to 5 short paragraphs, preferably with a bulleted section in the middle. It should walk the reader through your key passions, key skills, unique qualifications, and a list of the various industries you've had exposure to over the years. You should avoid the buzzwords like a plague, What do the words the responsible, creative, effective, analytical, strategic, patient, expert, organizational, driven, and innovative have in common? They are the most overused buzzwords on LinkedIn. So those are such words you should avoid. Okay. That was on LinkedIn, Salim. We also have some insights from him on matters networking. So should I also take that, or you talk about?
Yeah, you can go about the networking.
Okay. So for networking, you have to be of value, add value to get value, showcase yourself, tell people what you're doing, what are you best at, how is lifelong learning is impacting your growth or your approach to problems. Don't be parasitic. Let it be a symbiotic relationship at your individual capacity. Be so good that they can't ignore you. That is all.
Yeah, and I will just underline, don't be parasitic. Usikue parasite, as I had shared before, that as you connect, build the rapport, let them know what you are good at, what you can offer, or what you can bring on the table. I know that person that leo me connect na Beka, kesho tena unaambia Beka, can I come and volunteer to your place? So you are more like you want to benefit from him, and he doesn't understand who you are, what you can bring on the table, and all that. So it's a journey. As you remember the definition that networking is not job begging or begging for the job. You are building the bridge that will lead you to cross over when time comes to get on the other side. Thanks, Bakari, for the contribution and the insights. I think we can now proceed. All right. This is just a high-level summary of my own journey in terms of from the time I graduated to date, having done or having held different career levels and job titles in different organizations. But the first part is to create your brand, you need to volunteer. Like volunteer to a point where you feel una volunteer. Like now you are removing your resources in the volunteering aspect. That's when you are creating your brand. Umesikia kuna event Hatua, they are looking for volunteers or they are looking for professions to come and support. Hatua doesn't offer transport, maybe doesn't offer lunch and everything, but gives you that platform to volunteer. Look for your own transport, look for your own lunch, go deliver. In that way, umevolunteer, umetoa pesa yako ya transport, umetoa lunch yako, but at the end of the day, the people you will network with, they will know there is someone skilled in this area. This is the person you're looking for. So volunteer freely, and have volunteered in a number of organizations, and you find most of these organizations have volunteered. I end up exiting those organizations with a good job title and better pay slip at the end, because I believe that there is always a single step to take before everything happens. So branding isn't about your title, it's about the impact you leave behind. Someone will remember you because of how you made them feel, and not because of how you interacted with them. The feeling is what stays with them for longer. That when I worked with Peter, I felt disrespected. So atakatune like mtu hananga nidamu, but akitoka hapo akiona like I left with, when I was working with Peter actually supported me craft or review my CV that landed me to this other job. Atakuwa na kukumbuka, hata kenda kule akiona kuna opportunity yenye anajua Peter anaweza fit, the first person anaweza mkumbuka kumleta on board. The second part is share learning. as Bakari had put it, in terms of making your posts, let your network know publicly what you are good at. What is the thing that they can buy you for? Knowing that if we are looking for a profession data visualizer, then this is the person we need. So if we're looking for a person who is efficient in MySQL and maybe other programming languages, this is the person we need to have on board, because they have seen the knowledge, they have seen your post publicly on your post. But if you hide saying that, no, this is my secrecy recipe, wacha tu nikae nayo, nikipata job watajua chenye nafanya, trust me, utabaki nayo. And maybe to give you motivation around that is the point, kuna msemo wa Swahili, fichauchi hazai. So ukitaka wewe uzae ama upate matunda from your whatever networking and building your brand, then it's always good to share that knowledge that you have publicly. Don't hide it. Showcase the skills that you have publicly. Don't hide them. Because out of that, even if you introduce yourself, I love those who are doing the introduction saying that I'm a web developer, I worked in this project 1, 2, 3, because at the end of the day, when someone leaves this meeting, aksema, by the way, I'm looking for a job developer, a web developer, anajua kuna Basil. I'm looking for a person who does this, anajua kuna so and so. So always, in whatever you do, have it clearly, and that's how I've grown my journey, like sharing the knowledge publicly. LinkedIn message. I give a good example. There's a time where I just randomly sent a message to a stranger who referred me to a number of opportunities, only to come and discover way later that this same messenger, like stranger who I had sent the message, I'll come to meet them in real life and in person. And with that, the rapport that we had now, it led to next opportunities, because when I transition, for instance, want to leave job A, I want to M to job B, I'll just share with them my journey that have worked in this for this time, and I feel I've grown to this level. Do you have any advice? At the moment, I'm aiming or I'm focusing on 1, 2, 3, and this person gives me free advice, and I end up also getting that person as my referee at some point, because there are people who have seen my journey growing from one level to the other, and they're in a way that them as individuals, they can even recommend me. So in that case, they keep on also referring me to my next job opportunities. So don't be afraid of sending a random messenger message to a stranger who you feel within the LinkedIn platform is a better connection in the industry, that you can bond the rapport and get these opportunities way after. Remember, don't be a parasite. Then the other journey that I also to share there, I think everyone in here had a chance to have Hatua mentor or a connection to a mentor within Hatua. So I had that chance also to have a mentor, and we had the connections that were well bettered in terms of giving advice, guiding, and giving the progress updates to one another. So the mentor that I had like pursued the same industry that I was pursuing that level. That's a graphic designer, and he also was a graphic designer. Though he was not working as a graphic designer in the firm that he was in. So in our relation, I had also, by that time, I was also working for I Choose Life Africa on a different role that wasn't related to the course that I was pursuing. So in that level, I was looking for also advice to see how I can balance between the career growth and the professional side, where I was already being paid of doing other skills that is not what I was pursuing at campus. And that's when I got the advice that I can actually contribute or practice my skills through either my own initiative. And by that time, I had already registered the Icon project. So I knew, well, then Icon project is where I can be practicing my graphical skills as I grow this other line where I'm professionally hired or being paid for doing whatever I was doing. So you find with your mentor's connection, you can get completely new ideas that can change or can reframe your own different interests that you have. And to that, I really appreciate because we're keeping in touch with him, and in that way, everything flows. And to some of us in here, I'm sure your first connection or to job opportunity may have come from the mentors and all that. So building that progress, you are in that organization before you exit to another organization. Is your mentor aware of your progress in that, the impact you have been creating, and what your aim is at the next level? So your journey begins with a single first step. So you can take it now, either from the volunteering aspect, sharing your learning publicly, the random messaging to strangers that they are in the same industry you are in, and you feel you can build that rapport, or the mentor that you have at the moment. Can your mentor be that person who speaks about you in a room when you are not there? That means is confident enough that you are that brand that he can support selling out. So unless there are questions on that, before coming now to the real or the deal that now we can start logging into our LinkedIn profiles and try to implement one or two things. For instance, crafting your LinkedIn headline. And I had shared before, here you check around the field, the role, or the skill and identity, where you can have like IT graduate or cybersecurity enthusiast, problem solver, those kind of things. I can see sauti iko chini. Dana, can you confirm if sauti yangu kweli iko chini?
Yes, there was a moment your voice went down, but right now it's good. Maybe the rest can confirm if the voice is okay. Yeah, yeah, your voice is good. Yeah.
So. Perfect. So basically, we can now do that sort of practice, and the practice I was aiming at is just revamping ile sura ya kwanza hapo, tuipake makeup kwanza, like ensure your name is well written, so ati jina yako inaanza na small letter, hii nyingine inaanza na capital letter, ama hii ya kwanza umeweka yote ni caps, hii nyingine imekuwa ni sentence case. Let's have those things that give the first view or impression of a person you are connecting with aligned. So let's check on the name, the profile photo if you already have. If you don't, maintain that as you look for a small budget, getting a professional photo, or you go to these events, ensure that you bond with this photographer. Naweza chukua ka photo moja na hii bana hapa. Then your photo unajua itakuwa kwa link. You download that photo and you have it there. So long as umepose professionally. Hiyo tu ni another hack. Sijakwambia sasa uende events harass photographer kupige picha. Amelipwa. Afanye kazi nyingine. So basically you can use those kind of things. And then coming to the about section where now you have your professional statement, and ensure as also based on Bakari's insights, usikue yule mseso unaenda kwa hiyo section unaanza kuweka the jargons. I think you have seen a number of posts saying that I got my driving license, and then sasa huko wengine unaona venye imekuwa sugar coated sijui certificate in locomotive and a number of things. So be real, have something that someone can easily relate to. See, exaggerate things. Kuna some words zinatumika vibaya, and Bakari has just mentioned a few, but there are a number of many you can do on the search. Natumika vibaya. So let's not use them in that level that everyone can pinpoint that hii nayo ni uongo. So hadi unashtuka. It's true. Unaweza hata shtuka. Nashanga kwani ulichezea fees shuleni wakati watu wakifunza vocabularies. Then now also something else, writing at least a few connection requests, and we can start with amongst ourselves. If you feel you haven't connected with either one of us in this call, try to just write that connection request so as tunaweza ipitia hapa tuone kama that connection request iko sawa before uende sasa kutafuta your industry specific, uanze kutumia customized or tailored connection request to them. So as we use it as for the case of learning and feedback in this session. So I don't know, should I conclude this, then we come back to the live workshop, or Dana, what's your take?
You can just conclude, and then as people share maybe their custom-made requests or anyone who would volunteer their LinkedIn, and then we can revamp it. Yeah.
All right, makes sense. So the next action points that things that it's good at least mwalimu mzuri pia anafaa kuacha assignment. So in this case I wasn't a teacher but it's good as alumni of Atua will be accountable partners amongst ourselves. So yeah, 3 things that I wanted maybe before next week or before your next chapter. You need to, 1, update your LinkedIn, and that's something that we are about to start the next few minutes. Refresh your profile photo, headline, and about section today or even tomorrow, but it's good you start today. And then send 5 connection requests. This can be your weekly target, can be your daily target, that at least you send 5 connection requests to people that you feel you need to connect with. Engage, thoughtful, comment, meaningful on the at least 1 post in your industry. So the number of posts related to your industry, commenting to them and what you feel it's an opportunity, you can pass it to your network. Also reposting it, that can make more value, that you are not a parasite to that connection that you are building. And this is how you turn learning into visible progress. So if you have joined this session and then you don't start working on around those things to build your brand and to grow your network, then that means learning won't be in progress. So it's good we keep start that. And then my closing part is that your qualifications from the different professions that you are in got you to this meeting as part of Atua alumni to come and discuss, and your brand and network will get you to your first or next job. So don't wait to feel that you are ready. Start small and just start. So you can start as from now, kwanza tu pole pole, and with the time you'll be that strong network, strong connection in your connections. So that is my closing quote. And before we go to thank you all, let's work on the workshop. And I've seen also Bakari ameongezea mshiko fulani hapo. Maybe Dana, you can read so as everyone can also have that chance to understand better.
Okay. Bakari has shared an advice from his mentor, and he says, as you work on your professional brand, ask yourself this: how can I deliberately craft and consistently communicate a personal brand that not only reflects my core competencies and values, but also position me in a distinctive, high-impact contributor within increasingly competitive and evolving professional landscape?
Kuna mtu ako na swali from Bakari's statement, so they can support, maybe clarify ama sote tumeielewa? In other words, as you create your professional brand, unafanya marketing yako. Na marketing ni mmea. Usipojiuza vizuri, no one else can go in the room, market or talk about you na yeye mwenyewe hajakuelewa. So ensure the point where you need to stand out comes clearly, that people know you are a person who can deliver high or beyond the expectations, because they have seen, based on your brand, you are a high impact person. And all the other skills or competencies, they are clearly seen and increasing your competitive advantage in the market. Kumbuka, if you are dreaming of being an electrical engineer, we have some electrical engineers who already get the pay, they are already in the industries, they are already living that dream. So how can you beat that competition? How can you stand out? Remember the 3 C's that you had shared before? Who can remember the 3 C's? Anyone who can remember the first 3 C's that iko na hiyo place yenye tumeongelea standing out? Clarity, consistency, credibility. I can see a good number of us bado tunazikumbuka, but for the 3 C's of standing out, here they are. The first C is that we need to know kuna competition. So for you to stand out, you need to be that competition. And then now coming to the other 3 C's, that clarity, consistency, and credibility. So for this competition is coming to a point where you beat the competition when it comes to credibility. If people can prove your value through the projects and achievements you do. And here's the same way Bakari has actually said, you need to ensure umejiset ama umejiuza vizuri, that mtu anawezaona, yes, this is the person that I need. This is the person I can actually pay. And that gives you even a upper hand when you are going to negotiate for salary. Because mtu anajua you are worth that pay. All right, we can go to the practice, or in case there are any questions before we start practicing. Yes, Bran, naona umeraise mkono.
Hello, am I audible enough?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So I joined in a bit late, but I believe I've gotten something. I just have a question. I don't know if it's in alignment with what you have shared here, but now maybe the question, it's not only mine, but maybe it will assist anybody in that situation. So the question is, in a scenario where you did a course, let's say if it's in engineering, and then now when you come now to the market world, you find yourself in a different type of profession. How do you go about that? Would you stay in that particular line, or would you still want to fight the system so that you get back to the engineering course you did, you be in the engineering professional? Yeah, that's my question.
All right, maybe making it open to everyone. Naona aje, abaki ama atafute mbinu arudi?
Hi, am I audible? I would like to give some insights on the sum. Hello.
Go ahead, Bonaventure, I can hear you.
Actually, I was having a similar conversation yesterday with my soon-to-be or prospective mentor. that I've done, medical, like, microbiology and stuff. And right now I'm into a lot of, community NGO programs, youth initiatives. And he's telling, like, I was actually torn in such kind of a situation that do I really have to go back to whatever I studied in campus, or do I have to, just stay where, I see things are working out for me? And from the conversations we were having, and it was like, because the idea I had in mind from the beginning is that, I try to create a different kind of a professional line or a career profile that will fit this other part of me that I'm really invested in currently. And I also have that other career profile that I have from the college, wherever I studied in college. And from that conversation, what he told me is that key things that can help someone, like maneuver through that kind of situation whereby you are wondering whether to go back to whatever you've studied in campus or invest your time in what you've really invested, like engage yourself, after coursework. And from the look of things, things are really working out in this other side. And he told me, as long as, what was clearly brought out from that conversation is that, you see, whatever you do in college or whatever you do in campus is just to give you that technical expertise that, you can stand up or you can stand out in front of people and say that you are educated. You are not blank. You have that, you went to class, you actually sit in class and you have knowledge and you can deliver. So as long as, finding out, what you really have to do in order to, because some of us, getting opportunities in areas that we've really studied in college, like for me personally, has been a lot of, it's very difficult, there are a lot of politics here and there, there are issues to do with licensing, and you're like like for me, I did a diploma level, and the body that licensed us, they're telling us we cannot license you until you do a degree because of only like 1 or 2 units. So I'm telling myself, do I really have to look for a degree, even to do a course that might land me to being licensed? I'm telling myself, as long as I've gotten that initial training that I went in college, did something, because college work did not only taught me the technical aspect of it, but things to do with how to work with others, how to work with my fellow student, how to coordinate a project, because I believe those skills will assist me in this other career profile. So yeah, the conversation was really nice, and as long as this other career profile works out for you, and if whatever you've studied in college, you find an opportunity that you are sure you are going to get into it, well and good, but you don't have to gamble or say yourself tell yourself that mimi nimesoma hii, like I need to, like ni lazima nifanye hiyo engineering. No, as long as you can have that mind shift that I studied engineering in college or in campus, but this other career profile, this other line works for me better. It's just trying to invest in that whatever, if whatever you study in campus comes along, then you might as well go for it. But as long as this other line works better for you, you say yourself climbing ladders step by step, it is also a good opportunity to invest, your time, your resources into it.
Well, yes, can I?
Hello.
Yes, can hear you, bro.
Yeah, okay, good morning. Oh, so I have a friend who works at CIC, actually shared something similar to with me. I mean, so you're saying that now this is what they do. A lot of people that get opportunities or jobs at CIC find that mtu amepata kazi CIC but amepata not in the role that alikuwa amesoma. Now this is what they do, especially now this is for the techies. If you get a role that is not the one that you studied, nasema the best thing that you do now when you are in that organization is that continue on, because with IT, with tech, you have to upskill each and every time. So you continue on upskilling as you can get opportunities within the same organization. Like hata kama ni kitu tumesikia tunaambiwa kuhusu volunteering ama volunteering. So you get those opportunities. Hata kama ni seme like it's just an event, like kitu tu mko mnafanya kama an organization. Get those opportunities. Make use of those opportunities. And you never know. An opening usually comes. Alafu since wewe uko ndani and you already have umejua and now they know that these are the things that you can do, it is very easy for you to get that opportunity that you've wished for than mtu mwingine wa nje. So yeah.
Yes, Bakari, then we close it. Thanks, Kenas, for that contribution.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
National competitors, for example.
Yeah, so
price to book
okay,
ratio
thanks for
of
the session here. It's really been an impactful session. So my take on, getting into practice or getting into a field where you didn't study. First of all, there are nuances that we have to, to clearly make them seen to everyone. It's much better having somewhere than having no place at all. That's the very first thing that we are supposed to probably consider before you even criticize where you are. So let's say you graduated with a degree, let's say in telecommunications engineering. Then you find that you've gotten into a role that's more inclined into finance. There's no reason to feel sad about it, because the very first thing, you just be happy because it's an opportunity. Probably over thousands of people wanted to get into that particular environment, but they couldn't, but you are there. Also, another thing I'd say is you focus on the transferable skills. You never know when and where or how your particular niche is going to find you. So you really have to focus on the transferable skills. There are skills that can be applied across, whether you are in biochemistry or in engineering or in mathematics. There are skills that you can learn from here that are going to apply on the other side. Then the very last thing is the bit on networking. You can be at a place where, let's say, the engineering practice. I'm using a case example of engineers because they are the ones most affected by this. You find that they studied this at their undergrad or postgrad level, whatever level of education they were in. But then when they come out here, the roles are much more inclined to other areas than the engineering area. So the thing is, the networking bit also helps. When you get into a firm, try to network, because you never know who knows who. Do whatever you have to do. Probably, at some point, early careers, it's more about, building your name, building your personal and professional brand, building something that's going to be very much tangible and of effect in the next 5 or 10 years. So focus on the networking, the transferable skills, and focus on the, technical know-how that's going to be obtained from that particular role that you're into. Because this also affected me, actually. I did actuarial science. I was much more inclined on data science. But when I got into the industry, I was much more inclined into the, in as much as there is a connection to risk, but not the quantification side of risk, the qualitative side of risks. But then I realized that it's a learning phase, because You cannot be introduced into the modeling aspect of things until you learn the fundamentals. So just get your basics right, whichever field you're into. If there's an opportunity to upskill in that particular field and be rooted to it, do it. If you still feel inclined into moving to the field you studied for, focus on the transferable skills and focus on the networking. That's all. Thank you.
So let's start with
Thanks, Bakari, for that addition. To sum it up, always check your interest, build on that interest. And if something comes on your way and you feel there is a way you can, after doing your research, you still see there are those opportunities aligned to your profession, just join. And within that, create your own gap, collaborate effectively to that department where it's more aligned to whatever you studied at the university level, and find yourself how you got back to the same line. Or if there isn't that opportunity in that organization, work on those competencies that cut across, and thereafter keep on doing some projects. Zenye sasa ni volunteering projects. Unakaa tu chini, you think of a problem, you volunteer working on a database, maybe building a database for their M&D tools that they have collected data of the past years for free for a certain organization. Let's say Hatua, you can always go back to Hatua because hapo ndio tumetoka, so they won't lie, they won't deny you access to something that they know you are building your skills to build for them a certain system for free. Then you use that as your project. You post on your LinkedIn and the other professions, which give you the experience. It shows that this particular time you're working as a salesperson at company X, but since you are a data architect or you are a data engineer, you developed these tools or these dashboards for this particular project in this organization, and you actually posted. So that means your skills are still in practice as Jarast, or wherever you are in the same organization, whatever, if you are doing sales, at the end of the day, there's the sales report. Using your data skills, visualizing the sales report as part of your report that you weekly present, that highlights that kuna more skills in this. So you can create a demand in that company that, well, huyu jamaa ameonyesha like ako hivi, ako vizuri, anahitaji this place. So you can find yourself creating your own opportunity that you have created a demand in that organization because they didn't have maybe a data engineer or a person to do the visualization of the data and everything and doing the analytics. So here you come with that skill that you have volunteered it for free. You have shared the skills publicly and they have seen actually you are featured like uko hapa katika sales lakini we ni mzuri hii sector vizuri zaidi na tumekuwa tukistruggle. So you join that part, you'll be the head of that department. Sasa unaambiwa help us get volunteers who can come and support you in this. So you are creating other job opportunities in your online. But if you are that person wenye asinimambia tu ni sales, umeingilia sales, you bury the other skills or the skill sets that you have, saying that sitaki kuonesha how capable I am, then that means you are burying your own growth or your own opportunities. Kenaz has given a good platform. As the head started sharing before, that I studied graphic design. That was my first diploma that I took. And by the time I was doing the diploma course, I was working for Choose Life Africa as a peer educator or mentor for the in-school project, that the sales project, and I Choose Life Africa. So on that end, wherever we used to go for these corporate events, to end up our meetings where the partners are there and all that, they had their communication officer. This person alikuwa kona ndiye anashitumia cameras hapa na pale, so I could ask, can I support you taking photos? So I started taking photos, editing, doing all those kind of things. remember I'm practicing the skill yenye nasomea, while hapa chenye nafanya, my role is off the script. So in that way, wakati ana shift, when she was leaving the organization going to another place, they were like lazima kwa kutafuta replacement. So she wrote the recommendation that you don't have to hire, Salim is best fit in this. So nikajipata tu nimeshachukua hiyo position yake kwa within 2 months before I ended the other organization. So I had another opportunity to learn from the best nikiwa tu tuko hapo, starting from volunteering, kumsaidia tu department yake na mimi kwa different department in the different events tunaenda, documenting the impact stories kwa ground, writing those stories, taking short videos, editing, and in that way nikajipata wakati anaondoka nimebaki na hiyo role. I happened that I had proficiency skills in using Excel and QuickBooks. So I supported also ile ku volunteer. I'm in communication, still supporting in the peer education aspect. They had admin. So admin kwa namsaidia mambo ku type vitu kwa data entry kwa the Excels and working on those things, aligning the receipts zenye zimetoka and the invoices from the suppliers and all that, like in the procurement processes. So it reached a point when also she was leaving, akasema, Salim has been the person who has been supporting me in much of this, and since the project is always coming to an end, there's no need of you guys hiring another person. Salim can match both the contracts and still manage both the admin, procurement, and finance and communication. I've seen his flexibility skills, ziko sawa. So I find wakati pia anaondoka nikaachiwa sana run a number of things at a go, because I showed and I proved that I'm flexible enough, I can collaborate, and I'm a fast learner. And that's when I got a chance now to, sasa niko kwa hiyo procurement nini na nini na sielewi, I got the chance of advancing that skill. So always you need to check your interest, your skills, because at some point pia I will not advise you to diversify at a go. You might underperform or you might not deliver in organization. But if you've tested yourself and you are best fit, knowing that if these people can recommend you and you can see them, because that means these people saw something in me. So if someone sees something in you and you can prove that you can do it, take it up, grow yourself. Don't be that person that sasa hii niachane na hii ama nirudi kwa hii. Sometimes you weigh the situations, and if there is it's an opener opportunity where you can go back to your route, well and good. Because you can start small and you can still grow. You can start from this angle, creating the demand, and you can go back to your line because they have seen you are best fit in that particular point. Like you are more resourceful and productive in that organization, in that area. Yeah. Bakari, I've seen you raised your hand again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, listening to you is always a learning. There's something to learn. What I'd like to add is on risk appetite. You see, there are companies who always tend to misuse that ability, someone's ability to learn from different, roles and are getting aligned to them. There are companies who eventually would like to save on cost, therefore wouldn't add you salary. They would let you, pivot to whatever role you are good at, still maintain your initial role and fail to do that. So the other thing is also, as we get into a situation like CARES, always try to take it as an opportunity for you to renegotiate the terms of employment, because this, people tend to ignore this, but you can be good at something, then because let's say like a role opens up in another area where you're already volunteering, the company now decides not to hire, then you're left there doing your initial role and doing this additional role without additional top up to your salary. So also use that as an opportunity to renegotiate your salary, because that's what people do. Actually, in my environment where I work, people use that as an opportunity for salary increment. You find that the role you are in, let's say you are given 130,000, but then there's an additional role which you are supporting, people are getting their 200K. So people tend to pivot. You move from 130 to 200 within 6 months, ulishafika 200, and then you renegotiate. This role requires this role requires this. Now that you've given me approval to work on this particular role, also you have to revise my salary to match the expectations of this role. Or if I'm maintaining the same roles, you have to double my salaries, because people also get double promotions. I can support this and I can also work on this. And it's if an environment is well governed, they usually take care of that. They usually put that into consideration and have that discussions in your interim reviews or in your NDA reviews and get everything aligned. But if you're there so silent, you fear that if you bring these negotiations to table, you're going to be sacked. No. Organizations are not operated as kiosks. So there are rules and regulations that govern the organization. There's an Employment Act of Kenya. So every meaningful organization will take care of that. So also note that, as you try to pivot and you try to align your skills to the most, amazing role you'd seen in your organization, take note of that. Thank you.
Yeah, I will not add or remove anything. Ensure when you grow, taking up bigger opportunities, also mfuko unaongezeka. So I think due to interest of time, we can now go back to Hope Brian Mkolwe. You got that clear, and you can now weigh and digest which route you will take. Because at the end of the day, it's back to you as a person. What do you think? What do you want? Yeah, in life. So back to this practice area on the LinkedIn, and I saw Bakari also had shared that is open. We can use his profile for the purpose of learning and also for him to get advanced feedback so he can also grow. So before going to Bakari's profile, how many have done this already as we were discussing? We get this 5 minutes, you do this, and then we proceed to the next part. We can take the 5 minutes to try work on the headlines and the about section. So by exactly like 11:53, we can have a hard stop. We can start now. If the other parts ziko sawa, you can go next to writing connection request to the people in this call who you feel you can add them part of your connection. Not you feel, you must add them as part of your connection, because as a family you need to grow one another. So mtu anapata ka depression ya kwako na 50 connections, na wewe unaweza muongezea akakuwa na 51. But remember, it's not always the number, it's the impact with the number that you build as connection. You rather have 50 worth connections than having 500 dormant connections. So ikifika to 11:53, we come to checking in that part, then we proceed checking the practical example ya Bakari. Whoever has just rejoined, we are working on the things zenye ziko kwa the screen, like building your headline, the about section, and writing connections. I'm seeing people are leaving. Swati meeting imeisha. We are working on the LinkedIn part. Then we proceed. Dana, hope you can check when you maybe wameweka questions in that, wanataka guidance tuweze kuwasaidia.
As you're crafting your maybe headline or about, if you have any question, you can just shoot it in the chat, and then we can handle it. Then we see a live example in a few. Salim, we can go through the sample LinkedIn so people can follow up practically.
So
yeah.
All right, here is Bakari Mrs. Profile. Hope everyone can see it. Huh? So basically, as we're talking about having at least a photo that someone can actually see you clearly, and as you can see, Bakari Koko ameshika mic. Either was presenting or was the MC, so it can speak a number of things that was being in that photo. So it's a communicating photo, and then the background cover where also has the key details, the name, the profession, and the contact info. When someone wants to reach out to Bakari, they can also pick it from that point. Then we were talking about working around the headlines. So you can see consultant at KPMG East Africa, stroke data science, machine learning. So that already shows some of the roles, some of the things that someone can pay Bakari for them to do these things. So, and then coming to the about. So here's the about, highlighting his passions and the skills that they have in the different roles that he has taken before. So for instance, if we're given a chance, maybe like a minute, we have a quick read through, and then I proceed to the next. Yeah, I hope everyone has skimmed through it. So on the features part that, by the way, before going to the features part, Bakari, on the bullets side, I understand LinkedIn doesn't work well with bullets. They tend not to be aligned once you paste in here, but there is a way you can use to ensure that that is aligned using Alt and then 7 on the key. It gives you the bullets that are quasi-aligned. Maybe you can try to ensure that it's aligned. For instance, proficient in Python. Kikuja hapa chini, the analysis imeanza huku kwenye aka hyphen, but the A needs to align in term with the P hapo juu ya proficient in Python. So you can try that, and then if you experience any challenge in terms of making the bullets align, tunaweza saidiana. We can just jump into our own calls. Najua since we are in data, watu wa data tunapendanga usiku, so you can play time at our comfort and support one another and making things align. So that's it. And then coming to who else is struggling to hear me? Dana nasema na struggle. Bakari, confirm if you can hear me. Right. Is it clear now, or is it better? Perfect. So maybe I just pardon. Bakari, I was talking about the alignment of the bullets. For instance, under core technical skills, proficient in Python, and then the analysis inaanza sawa sana, the more of like hyphen on the bullet. So it needs to A, the align na P. I understand LinkedIn in most cases doesn't have that feature of ensuring things are aligned. However, when you use Alt and then you press 7, it enables the bulleting to align. So you can try that. If it fails on your end, we can have a separate meeting, me and you, and we support one another and seeing how it works. Then the next part is when we're talking about the features, where you can actually show your achievements, your skill sets and all that. As you can see, for Bakari has posted a number of the certifications that he has managed to get in the same field that he wants to grow in, and you can view all that. And then coming to activities, also here is another place where you can see some of the things that Bakari has either done or the reposts from like-minded industry fellows reposting their posts with their either his own words or based on the other people's. And then coming to the work experience, here Bakari has written, for instance, consultant. So then coming to the other roles and everything. So maybe Bakari on this part, consultant in what? So maybe you can have it, let's say the role that you are doing, then under the contract type, you write the word consultant. There is the way you can select, is it contract, is it consultancy, is it contract, is it full-time, and all that kind of thing. So you can make this to be a bit clear or specific that yes, consultant, in what area are you consulting in? So make it full, then having the descriptive areas of like the JD showing whatever you did, just like in these other areas where you utilize machine learning and all that. So also in this part, as a consultant at KPMG, what exactly did you gain or you have been doing as part of your role? So can also work on that area. And then, yeah, for the education is right. Also stated, let me check. Yeah, that's okay. Then coming to licenses and certifications, all right. The volunteering, yeah, for volunteering, wadau, let's add as that little volunteering as Agapi at Hatua, add it as your volunteering experience. It really sells you out and gives you that, like highlights other skills that you had that cut across the different professions that you'll be in. So coming to, yeah, recommendations. So it's good also to request recommendations from the people you have worked with, the network connections that you have. You can ask them to recommend you on LinkedIn, and that's after you've created good rapport. Not leo connect na section ambia ku recommend, that will be a parasite behavior. So and also if someone requests your recommendation, you can give a recommendation. Yeah, so yeah, basically I think Bakari's LinkedIn profile is fairly okay based on how it is. And just to add on the areas where personnel have given feedback, and maybe as a team where we also think we can give feedback to him. Yeah. With that said and done, I will rest it over to Diana to take it up.
Okay, thank you so much, Salim. And just to mention, anyone who feels like they want their LinkedIn revamped or need help in revamping, just reach out. As you can see, we have resources. They're available to help on that. Maybe another Q&A question, and we call it a day. We can all see that it has been a very big or a huge success and session. Any question, any comments, any suggestion, feel free. Okay, going once. Yes, Bakari.
Mine is to thank the organizer, the host. So thank you, Diana. Thank you, Care, for this particular session. It's been a very informative session. In as much as we had other ongoing sessions on our end, but we really benefited from this. And it clearly points, a picture towards, our enhancements of our professional profiles and our professional outlook, because that's what matters in an environment where we'd like to sell stuff for those who are entrepreneurs, or we'd also like to sell our skills in terms of getting into employment. It all starts with how you view yourself, because similar to garbage in, garbage out. Whatever, thoughts and perceptions you have of yourself is whatever thoughts and perceptions others will have about you. So if you create a meaningful brand, automatically you're going to attract meaningful connections, and things are going to align from there. And also another thing is we are heading into a season where banks are being disrupted, based on what we are seeing from a financial perspective. So people who are into finance and finance related roles, what I'd advise is, get your things right, get your pack, the employment pack in place, and apply for those roles. Equity is going to do a mass hiring. This is not an insider information, it's something that's out there. Other banks too. There's also going to be, other financial bigwigs entering into the country. So prepare your portfolios, your CVs, and everything you have in place for that alignment. Also, another thing is there is another consulting firm coming into Kenya. So also check into that. So make sure you're so much updated in whatever social platform you're into, whether it's X, it's LinkedIn, it's everywhere, because these roles are going to be, pushed and published in whatever domain they want to. So yeah, get things aligned. Kazi ziko, and it's all about how you sell yourself, how you market yourself. That's what matters, at this point. For the experienced individuals, their roles, I'll mention two firms that's actively hiring. There's McKinsey and there's BCG. So for those who have that, critical thinking skills and problem solving skills, check into those two companies. They are constantly hiring. Also, another thing for the recent graduates here, the Big Four is hiring: KPMG, PwC, Ernst & Y, and Deloitte. They are hiring. You saw from their website, they are hiring graduate trainees. So if anyone wants to align themselves to those particular roles in terms of how then do they hire, how do they take candidates, I'm open to responding to that. So yeah, and you've seen my contact from the LinkedIn profile. I'm also willing to share it here. So in case of anything, and anyone would like to move into this area, I'm really ready to help. So look into that. The graduate roles in the Big Four, McKinsey and BCG, and the banking sector is going to be disrupted. So there are so many roles that are going to come in place, especially tech roles. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bakari, for sharing those insights. Yeah, jobs are out here. It's just how you present yourself. And my favorite part, the part I get to see all your faces. Tuneza, like washa cameras, we get one photo, and we call it a day. And thank you everyone for showing up and being present and participating in this webinar. And I'm always looking forward to having sessions that actually upskill or help us in our careers. So shukran sana, and let's tuoneshane sura zetu nzuri. We have a photo.
Before that, Diana, just to add, wherever you find yourself having a career break, ako kagap, from this job, you are maybe jobless on 2 to 3 months as you plan to the next. Use that time wisely. Wisely in terms of doing the short courses, like for Google, Coursera, they have a number of courses, Allison's, and a number of Udemy, Uniantena. Just go find a short course where you upskill or upgrade your knowledge. Do that, create the projects, post on your LinkedIn. In that way, you still remain relevant. Hakutokwa na career gap.
Okay, sawa. Okay. Sawa, tuone sura zetu. Nice. Mhm. Hi, Said. You're not here. Hi, Sarah. Jambo, we can't see you.
Dana tuko mahali pabaya.
Bonventure, tukuone tafadhali. Yeah.
Kwa machuom za Nairobi.
Sawa. Nimeshukuru sana guys.
Thank you too.
Sawa. Have a lovely one and enjoy weekend na holiday. Bye.
Aya, bye.
Bye. Happy Easters.
Kujie nyama kwangu.
Bea unasema hivyo juu unajua uko mbali. Bye.